Welcome to Lead Like a Girl, where we are empowering everyday women through our stories. I'm your host, Jessica Smith, and I began this journey by sharing my life story. Now, I've joined forces with my longtime friends, Jamie and Corlin, to keep this party going. We met many years ago as young sales girls in our 20s, driven and quickly rising to the top of our industry. As the years went on, life happened, and we all found ourselves in new companies and completely different industries, still striving for success in it all. Career, family, faith, fun. Now, it wasn't easy, but we never stopped moving. Get ready for our real conversations, inspiring stories, and our big life lessons as we share it all. The good, the bad, and the funny. Welcome to Lead Like a Girl. Welcome to another episode of Lead Like a Girl. And listen, in real time, it is Super Bowl Sunday. That's how dedicated these girls are. Go Eagles! Who are you guys rooting for? Yeah.
I feel like I don't even care. Like
I don't even care either. I just know I'll
say go Eagles just because between all of the three of us and our listeners, I don't want the Chiefs to win. I just
right.
I don't care who wins. I just they've had enough. Like, let's pass the torch. That's all.
Exactly.
Good competition. That's all. That's
absolutely.
What I'm in favor of.
Where are you at, Jamie, and all this?
I could not care less. Literally,
I feel like too, and are you, Jess? Are you a big Kendrick Lamar fan? I know some of his music, not a lot, but I'm not a huge fan. So it's I'm not excited for the game. I'm not excited for the halftime.
I was just about to say, is that halftime thing? Yeah. See, I didn't even know that. When I say I'm in a bubble right now, I am in a bubble. But anyway, so YouTube, I hope you are subscribing on YouTube, Lead Like a Girl Lab. I know you guys are on Facebook. I know you're on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Our new website is up and going. You see Jamie, she's got some new Lead Like a Girl swag on, our trucker hat, and I should have I got some new stuff too. So, but you can get that at Lead Like a Girl Lab. It comes quick. It's great quality. And remember, we give back 10% of everything. So make sure that you check that out. So it's Super Bowl Sunday, and we are just so dedicated. We are here today to talk about something that you guys know I'm an open book, so I'm here to share. I am 1 week out of, I can't lift it too much, and I got a jean jacket on, but I'm gonna share more next time.
This is why YouTube is important, because you have to see Jessica's arm gesture for what she's talking about.
You have to see.
Next time, I don't know, one of these episodes, I will bust out my Jamie tank top. Jamie is our tank top. Right. Jamie is our tank top wearer. No, Corlin, you wear tank tops too.
I do tank tops.
I was like, you think I'm joking, but I'm absolutely making us matching tank top. We're going to be matching.
I'm there for it.
So sun's out, guns out, period, right? This is it.
Really, and I'll kick us off, but the theme of which that we're talking about is really just celebrating the journey of self-love, transformation, empowerment. We're going to dive into some personal stories about body changes and cosmetic procedures. And for me, it's embracing this new stage of life. I've been in over 40 club for a little bit of time here. So just want to talk about my just most recent experience, but I want to kick us off with a quick icebreaker. And I want you ladies, and they don't know, I like to make it
I'm always
all
nervous for Jessica's, and maybe it's anybody's because it's so unplanned, but let's have it. Let's go.
No, this is fine. So I want to know about the moment in your life where you felt most confident. So, maybe it was a personal achievement or your style choice or your mental shift. Tell me where and why were you most confident in your life?
I do have one. I received an award. And I was able to go on stage. It was like a gala, so we were dressed to the nines, hair done. You guys know me. I did my own hair and makeup because I'm just me. Not that I wouldn't go get my hair and makeup done if I could, but whatever, I didn't. But had a gorgeous dress on, dressed up, and I had worked really hard on some community involvement for an entire year. And I won an award, and I was able to go on stage and looked out, and I saw a lot of people that I, like my colleagues and people that I knew from the community. And I won this, and it was like my goal for the year. And I just stood up there and I just felt so, like, I felt accomplished. So I just remember standing up so straight and just like, oh my gosh, even though the guy who announced me mispronounced my last name, I didn't even care.
Don't you freak? You're like, I'll take it, whatever. I was like, what did he say?
Oh my gosh.
He said Knievel instead of Knievel. And I was like, you know what, guy? People have been saying it wrong my whole life. I don't even care right now. But I was so like, funny. I just felt like I was standing up so straight because it was like, I've been working for this and I just won this. And I felt like just on top of the world. Like I just felt confident. So confident. And I think some of it was I felt like I looked confident too, you know, because I was like, I accomplished this goal and like I'm wearing this gorgeous dress. And I was like,
yeah, were your arms out? Your arms were out, weren't they, in the dress?
Oh, heck yeah. Are you kidding? Of course they are.
It was actually a mini. It was a mini of like legs out, arms out.
I was going to say. Yeah,
it was
her
above
legs
the knee.
And arms. Yes.
It was above the knee. It was a wrap dress. It was sleeveless. I had very high heels on. It was all that. I loved it.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to switch up the question. Sorry if you thought of your answer, Cora, but I wanted.
I'm sorry. I went first.
Yeah. No, that's what happens. I want to keep you guys on your toes. Okay. Right, so one thing that you've done or plan to do to embrace aging. So whether it's taking on a new hobby or trying some cosmetic treatment or taking a dirty dancing class, give me one thing.
I have not done that. Well, there's no spoiler. Like
I said, or going to do. So give me one. Okay, tell us.
I'm going to just embrace what we talked about a couple weeks ago with Strong Coach Mary. Over the last couple of years, like I've ran. So I'm in the running, or I used to be in the running club with Jamie and Brian. I think I've ran probably like 5 or 6 half marathons in the last 10 years, which is great. Like I feel like very accomplished. That's what I was going to say, is that I felt like really proud of myself as I finished those. And because I'm not a runner, I don't have a runner body. So it was hard, but I felt really good when I was done. But in learning how bodies change and wanting to prolong my health and my ability to keep up with my little boy and just live a good life and not be sedentary, that I've transitioned into lifting weights. And that has given me a lot of
That's great.
confidence and a lot of energy. And I've got a little definition happening in my arms and my legs. And my husband's like, oh my gosh, like you're strong. And I'm like, really? You know, like me? Yeah. So that's been fun.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, I love that. And really what I wanted to share, and some of you know my story, I have been overweight, I would say, since 3rd grade. So I've been on this journey for many, many years. And some years ago, I don't know, maybe it's been 12, 13 years ago, I finally reached my goal. I lost 120 pounds and just went on the journey of cosmetics after major weight loss. And so for me, that meant getting what they called a mommy makeover back then. And it was full body contour, full extended tummy tuck, breast implants, lift, the whole shebang, other than, which if they would have allowed me to do it in one surgery, I probably would have done my arms and my inner thighs. Because here's the thing, after 120 pounds, and a lot of people, maybe depending on an individual and their body or their age or all of that good stuff, there's only so much you can do after major weight loss like that. At this point, it's loose skin. You can work out all you want. You can lift weights. That skin, it has to be removed. It has to be cut. So after all of that, I messed around and had a baby. That was not planned. So in that, I gained more weight and really had to get it off. And I went on this journey of getting that last, I think like maybe 30, 40 pounds off. But in 2017, as you know, we really went through a major financial hardship. So cosmetics were just off the table. Well, this crazy girl decided that I was going to set a goal for myself and make payments. So for the last 7 years, I'm literally making payments to this surgeon that everyone in the office must have thought I was some crazy ass lady, because I would literally call one time and say, hey, I'd like to make a payment of $25. And they're like, oh, okay. It's the payment lady. It's the crazy payment. And so I've been making payments for the last 7 years, and I finally got to the point of making my last payment to do my extended arm lift. And I did that last Wednesday. It's this past Wednesday was 1 week. It went really well. And for people who have this, stay off of YouTube. Stop watching videos of not stay off of YouTube. You want to go on YouTube to watch this, but the YouTube videos, right? And all that stuff. For me, first of all, I found a wonderful surgeon, doctor. I'm going to give him a plug here. Dr. Sung in Duluth, Georgia. This guy is a master. He did my sister, and I got many sisters, so I'm not putting her business out. So he did my sister's extended tummy tuck. He did a great job. Of course, being in his office a million times over 7 years, I met a lot of people. He's fixed people's work. He's done great work, and he did a great job. And I'm going to share mine as I go on to this journey. But I finally got to my goal weight, which I'm super excited about, a goal that I have been chasing for over 20 years. Guys, like, I refuse to give up, and I hit that goal. I got this done. I feel great. 2 days after my surgery, I was off pain meds, and it's been, like I said, Wednesday. Today is Sunday. So a few days after 1 week, and I am feeling great and just super excited about it. So my next thing after this will be to do my thighs. And then I will go on, and maybe before this actually, because that's in January. So really my next thing after I heal is I will be looking into Botox. Do you ladies know anything about Botox that you could share with me?
I've been getting Botox for 5 years.
Now, Jamie says that, and one day I'm thinking, like, now we're friends here, okay? But this is another reason why, I don't know about you guys, but if it were me, I'd be screaming it from the rooftop. So I want to know, is it something that we talk about more or less? Because I just thought that you looked amazing, and I'm sure you look amazing without it, Jamie. But all I kept thinking is, why in the hell does she look like she's going back in age? And I don't remember how it came up, but finally it came up, and I was like, what the hell? You didn't tell me? What do you mean you doing Botox? So tell me how did it start? When did it start? Why did it start? And what's that journey been like?
It's, I have a person that I go to that's just a great, very gosh, she's not pushy at all. It wasn't anything that was pushed upon me. I remember looking at myself in pictures from probably 10 years ago, and I had gotten, like, they call them the 11s, right? It's just these couple of little wrinkles in between your eyebrows. And I remember looking at myself in pictures and just going, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that I'm getting that right there, and like that kind of scowl or whatever. And I didn't like it about myself. I never really did anything about it, but I had went in and I was going to get more like a facial, like the microdermabrasion or, something on my skin. And we just started talking a little bit about Botox, and she was telling me, well, here's what it is. Very tiny needle. This is what I do. And so of course I'm like, well, how long does it take? What do I do? How much does it cost? How long does it last? Like a million questions.
Right.
And then finally I said, well, is that something I could do today? And she's like, yeah. I can go. Yeah, we can go do it today. And
so
then
you didn't talk to any of your friends about it before you decided?
No, literally, I was exactly.
So
I was literally like, okay, let's try it. And then I said, well, how long does it last? She said, 3 to 6 months. And I said, well, can you just get it once? And she said, yeah. I mean, yes, you can just get it once. And then she said, you'll probably want to get it again, though.
Because why? Because then they just go back to the way that it was before.
Right. So for example, I do it in between my eyebrows, right? Because that was like the point of my face that I really didn't. Well, I'm wearing a hat, so I can't really show you. But
but even without it, by the way, you don't look like what I call that Botox face look, like, at all. But go ahead.
Well, I don't. It's not all over your whole face, right? It's just like my forehead is what I do. So it kind of freezes your face. So then you don't do that anymore. So then the wrinkles go away. So anything that would have started the little lines, I don't have them anymore because my face doesn't do that anymore. So then I only have to, I do it about twice a year. So like 6 months later, all of a sudden I looked in the mirror one day. I think it was like sunny out, and I was looking in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, oh, I can do that now. Wait, my eyebrows go together. So then that's what I do. I like twice a year I go see her, and she goes in between my eyebrows and just the top of my forehead. So the little forehead wrinkles up there. Yeah. And so my forehead, is just smooth. And, one thing that she mentioned to me, and this is my own story. I mean, everybody does, to each their own, really. But, she had said, because my mom and I spoke about this, and my mom at the time was 60. So, and she was a smoker. So she had pretty prominent wrinkles on her face. And she was like, well, is that something you think I should do or could help me? So one of the things that my person that I went to had said was, it's something that you kind of want to do like before you have wrinkles. So she said, when you were looking at yourself in pictures and you could kind of see where you were starting to get this wrinkle, she's like, you kind of want to do it then. So she was talking about even younger than me. So when I had started, I was, my early 40s. So that I was a little bit on the fence with, because I kept thinking, oh my gosh, what if you were like 35 or 25 or whatever? So I'm a little bit like, that seems like so young in my mind. Now, again,
for a process that you're going to, once you start, you don't want to go back to, you won't want to quit. And so starting at 25, but that does make sense though, because the wrinkles are there because you raise your eyebrows, you squint, right. And so they're there. So if you just never squint and never raise your eyebrows, then you're not going to have a wrinkle. Right. So that, I mean, it makes sense. I know a couple younger girls that are in my circle that have in their 20s and already started doing Botox.
Yeah.
Like
wow. But for twice a year and to not have to worry about that on my forehead, I'm completely happy and satisfied with that. And I would honestly tell anyone. I've told you guys know. I mean, I would tell anybody that. I think of it a little bit too, like Corlin, like you just said.
But Jamie, I don't think you told us. Corlin, help me out here. How did we find out?
Corlin knows.
I know that she. I know that she did. Because I asked.
You knew it from the beginning.
I don't know from the beginning, but I definitely asked because I was curious for myself, and.
I feel like, Jess, if you would have asked me, I definitely would have told you. I don't know why it wouldn't have been brought. Maybe we just didn't bring it up.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I know I'm an overshare. Nobody has to ask me anything. I just tell all my business all the time, as you can see.
That's a positive, or is that your toxic trait?
You know what? I feel an obligation. I feel like I feel like to withhold information is to lie. I don't know. I just, and I feel like if I don't tell someone, there's someone out there that needs the information. And I'm holding back. I don't know. But Corlin, did you notice something on Jamie and then ask and then she told you and then you went and got it? Tell me.
No, I was curious for my own because I had the same experience that Jamie had. I had little lines in front of my eyebrows, and I had asked a couple friends of mine that had flat foreheads, and they all told me the same thing. Like, well, we go to the med spa. I'm like,
what?
Really? I'm like, oh my goodness, like, huh? And I had always kind of taken the posture like, and because I didn't know enough about it, it's just, I don't want to put toxic stuff in my face. That sounds crazy, And then you do a little research about
judgy.
It. I'm not judgy. No, I'm just saying for myself, like, do I want to start doing? I mean, I take vitamin. I don't even like to take medicine. I don't. I just as little as stuff I can put in my body is what I try to do, and I'm not trying to be pretentious or anything. I just don't. I got a heart condition. I gotta watch out.
She said I got a heart condition.
I know.
Okay, so you started asking around, and then you were like, you know what?
Yeah, and so the people that I asked, and then I asked Jamie, I'm like, have you considered this? And she said, I did it, and I said, what? So it was. So I also have gotten just a little pick me up in between my eyes. For sure.
Wait, I want to rewind for a second because this is important. So in the Dr. Song's office, all the girls, for some reason, some of them, I can't tell if they've had Botox, but one thing that they all have in common is lips. And if someone's watching this thinking Jamie gets her lips done, I want to correct you now and rebuke that thought because
no lips, no eyelashes.
Right. Yeah, that is all natural and some lip liner. So yeah. I'm sure people are thinking that. So let me now let's go ahead and now that we're past that.
Yeah.
Corlin.
You know how mad I was when like lashes became a thing? I'm like, guys, I got like one thing. Like I have can you just give me the one thing? Can I just have this?
Yeah. So no,
I remember that was a conversation. We were going out one night. This is like in our 20s or something. And I'm trying to stick on fake eyelash. And she's like, can I just be the one with the eyelashes, please? And I'm like, right. Not tonight.
She's like, you're the blonde. Like, you're the blonde. Just stay with that.
Yeah. You're the hot blonde. Can I just have the eyelashes?
Yeah. You know, I would say this though. I mean, that's, I don't know if we want to transition yet, but when you're talking having cosmetic procedures, one thing that I had on my face is, if you knew me for a long time, you would know that I had a nice little beauty mark, and it wasn't little. It was actually fairly, and I thought it was really big, you know, but I always kind of chalked up. I had a mole on my cheek that was probably the size of what, Jamie? Like a small pea? Medium-sized pea? I don't know. It was
like a pea.
But I always just kind of, all the time, I was just like, that's just me. And it kind of gave me a little bit of character or whatever. And I never really thought about it until like a couple times. I think like it was like a year. I'm like, maybe it was growing or something. But I had a couple kids like look at me like, what is that chocolate chip on your face? And then
damn kids.
I know. And then I think the last thing was I was looking at a picture of myself, and I was back. I mean, it wasn't like a selfie. It was like you could see my feet, like a whole body picture, and I could see my mole in the picture. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that thing is huge. And so I made a phone call and asked, what does this cost? How much, you know, what's the procedure? And it was so easy. It probably I think the total, it cost me $900. I was in and out in like 2 hours. You can't even see it anymore. Maybe we can post this on our socials, because I have a before, right after, and then after without any makeup on, what you can see of the scar. But I think having that removed, I should have done it in my 20s. I did it probably like 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe it's longer than that. Maybe 5 years ago.
Why do you say that?
It was in 2020. I would have done it. I should have done it 20
Why
years
do you
ago.
say that?
I just feel like, because I think I caught myself, you know, after I had it done, I would always brush my hair because I think subconsciously it bothered me. And
really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. Okay.
I didn't really know it either until after I got it removed. I caught myself just naturally pushing my hair in front of my cheek. And I'm like, oh, wait, let me push my hair back. You can see my cheek now. It doesn't really matter. And I don't think it really matters. I didn't think anybody cared or didn't care. Like, I didn't think it really added, but I do like having it gone.
Yeah. No, I love that. And then, so tell me what your experience has been in terms of the Botox. What is your thought on that? You're glad you did it? You go more than 6 times? I mean, every 6 months, or what's been yours? Is it different than what Jamie was saying?
I've only done it a few times, but I think it's the same as Jamie. I would say kind of teach their own, but I don't think it necessarily changed the shape of my face. And again, whatever anybody wants to do is fine with me. I would highly doubt that I would probably do something that would plump up my cheeks or make my do lip filler or something like that. I feel like I've shared this before, but I feel like my personal MO is I just want to look natural, a little like an elevated version of me natural. Like, I don't want to change the shape of my face. I don't want to look like I had anything done, which I don't think that I do necessarily. I think the girl that I go to does a really good job. That's mine.
Yeah, for me is I think it's 2 different things. So, you know, of course, I'm always like, I got to pick and choose, because I'm only going to spend so much money. I'm not going to go into debt. I'm not going to go crazy over it. So my body, because I've been on, you know, this journey for so long, and it's not been about vanity for me. It's been about being comfortable in my own skin. Mm-hmm. When you have extra skin everywhere, just as it was being really heavy, it's uncomfortable, is at the end of the day. That's what I try to share with, because of course, Mr. Smith's like, I love you just the way you are, and you don't have to go through all this. But it's, for me, it's just being comfortable. Like I said, having additional, like I call them, you know, bat wings under my arms. It's uncomfortable. Having all of the additional skin within my inner thighs, it's uncomfortable. So that's what I'm seeking, just wanting to be comfortable in my own skin. It's not the same as it was when I was in my 20s. Listen, I have, thank God, a very sexy husband, y'all. So I'm not worried about, getting a man and look. I want to be comfortable in my own skin. I want to look in the mirror and be satisfied. Same thing, probably, who knows what I'll do. But I just want to encourage people to do what's right and safe and healthy for you, because this is not just about vanity. I think that this is also about mental health and self-care. I think they all work together. What do you guys think about that? How do you see this to fall into that?
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because this is what I was actually thinking about before we started this. The comment that you just said when Will said, "Oh, I love you, the way you are," because I wouldn't say long ago, but we'll call it before, I was this way and people were this way to me, where it was like, call it weight loss, call it whatever you're doing differently to yourself, where it was like, oh, no, you look fine. You don't need to lose weight. No, you're fine. You look fine. Or you would say, or they would say it to you, you don't have to do that. Like, I love you the way you are. You're just fine, or you don't need that, or whatever. And I think, and now for a while, I've tried to embrace that. Like, that's none of my business. Like, that is you. Yeah. This is your body. You're deciding what you want to do. I do applaud people who, like, if they're on a weight loss journey and they set a goal as far as a number, that's fine. I'm going to applaud you for hitting a goal that's attainable. I like to have something that's like measurable.
Yeah.
But I'm really trying to embrace that of like, it's you. I'm trying not to say like, you don't have to lose weight. Like, you don't have to do that. It's like, no, that's your body and that's your responsibility. And that's none of my business, actually. I'll applaud you when you're done, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where really my head went when we talked about this topic. Cause it's like, I think we all kind of need to be reminded of that. Cause it's like, that good for you. No matter what, right. No matter what it is. Right. Okay. Yeah. If that's what you want, awesome. Go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of one other thing when Coraline dyed her hair red. And I said, I like your hair blonde. I'm so sorry that I said that to you. That was probably 20 years ago, and your hair was red. And I think the first thing I said, she was like, "But I like you blonde." And I'm so sorry that I was such a dick.
Yeah, no, and I feel like I remember that. Yeah.
I think it was for like probably like 6 months, and I actually just came across that photo. But the one thing that I would say, guys, is what do you think in the realm of Instagram and Snapchat filters and all the things? How does this add to, take away? Does it matter? This whole, like, we should be authentic, and is what we see online real? Like, are we?
I was gonna say, I don't believe any of that shit.
Do you feel like doing stuff like getting Botox or doing all these different things, does it add to this unrealistic version of women and ourselves, just trying to just create something that we weren't really intended to look like or be?
I would say absolutely. I mean,
I don't. I think there are some people, and that's why that's their rationale of being against it. Whereas, and maybe and if it does, I don't care, because it's going back to, I'm going to do what's best for me and what's going to make me happy. Because I'm going to say it again. I think that this is beyond vanity. This is mental health for me. That is. And I know when I look good, I feel good. I feel good mentally, and that is the quality of life that I want. So maybe some people are different. So going back to what you said, Jamie, like, some people look at you and you're like, I got to get back in the gym. And they're like, get back in the gym? What are you talking about? They don't know what gym does for you. Maybe it has nothing to do with your legs or your thighs or your weight loss. Maybe it's just your mental health. And if you think you need to get back in the gym for you, then shut up. Yes, you need to get back in the gym, Jamie. And I support you with that. Yeah.
It's none of your business, really. You know what I mean? But you're a confident, accomplished woman. And I do think that the filters and everything else, I mean, when you look at it from someone who's not us, so I have 2 young early 20s daughters, when they look at that, or I look at some of their filtered pictures, it's like, that's not what you look like.
Right.
Or that's not what they look like.
But do you think that getting Botox and doing some adjustments to your face at a med spa, do you think that adds to the desire for people to want to use filler or filters or different things like that? Do you think that it's the same? Do you think it's different? Do you think it's...
I think it's different because some of it's anti-aging and some of it is what you see as like a filter. So like you might see like the lip injections and go, oh, everybody wants to have these huge, full, awesome lips right now. But like I go because I don't want the 11s in between my eyebrows, so it's like, it's the anti-aging portion of it, but then it's also like the enhancements of this is what's trendy right now. Some people are just lucky that they might have really full eyebrows because right now it's trendy. Well, guess what? 20 years ago, thin eyebrows were trendy. And if you just happened to have thin eyebrows, you were
and
good.
And for some people out there, they're still rocking that.
Well, once you pluck them, they're really hard to grow back, man. Those eyebrows are hard.
Yeah.
I know,
and
right?
I think about that too. When if that comes back and mine are micro tattooed, whatever I got here, that's going to be bad luck for me because I can't undo this. Right?
I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, I feel like when people get, what is it called? Like microblading or something?
Yeah, that's what I have.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, it's all 1 degree or another of the same. Like we're just trying to look our best, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But is it, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
no, but I
waver. I'm like back and forth. Like I feel like, yes, it's fine. Why am I doing this also?
Yeah. And you got to do it. Like I said, you got to do it for the right reasons. And I think by the time you get to our age, just me speaking here, I think it's less about that fitting in. For me, it's less about that fitting in, keeping up, again, trying to, for a lot of people, they're still out here trying to find a husband. So they're like looking for a certain look because they think that's what this guy is going to be expecting and all that. Thank the Lord. I'm not worried about any of that, but I want to still look good and look a certain way for myself. And there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I have time to do. So if there are some enhancements that I can make through different cosmetic areas and I can afford them without going into debt, so be it. And that's what I'm going to do. And judge me or judge me not, I don't give a damn. I'm okay.
The other point of this I wanted to talk maybe briefly about is like the role that this has in leadership as we're talking leading like a girl. There's a couple different things that have come across my circle. I have a friend of mine who has decided to get their face lasered, Botox, because she came into a management role and she's managing young people. And so she didn't want to come across as the old irrelevant lady who doesn't have anything to add. And so she felt pressure to jump in because she didn't want to feel old amongst her peers. So that's one thing. But then the other thing that kind of complements that is that this whole, this age-old survey and study that we all know about is that the likelihood of you, that they say that people who are attractive, people who look better, you're more likely to get a promotion, to
pretty
get
privileged.
the job. Yeah. And so I wonder, what do you guys feel on how like those things kind of come into play with this conversation?
So here's my first thought with the example of your friend. And this is why I talk about this all the time. And that is the confidence piece. Like we have to first find our confidence in ourselves. We have to know our worth. We have to figure all that out before anything else, because, and this is just my opinion, if that was the case, I don't think she would feel that pressure. And this is also why, diversity is so important. As a hiring manager, I am going to make sure that I don't have a whole team of little young bucks that I'm worried about. Like I'm hiring people specifically for that reason. And when I look at my team, I see a mixture of that. So that eliminates that whole feeling right there. Now, let's just say you inherit a whole team that happens to be that way. And even the younger people that I've managed, I think they appreciate my wisdom. Like I never show up. I'm the person, even you guys know, I used to come in and anytime weight would come up, I'm like, oh, well, I weigh 357 pounds. And everybody's like, did she just say that? Like I just said something like so horrible about myself. I just think that whatever you are and whatever state you're in, you have to own it, be okay with it, and know that that doesn't validate your worth as a leader. in the workplace and what you have wisdom, you know what you bring to the table. And I would never in a million years do any of that just for that reason alone. So I think that's a her problem. I don't think that anybody has created this situation that puts more pressure. That's a you individual problem, ma'am. That's what I got to say about that.
Yeah, I agree. I think so much of being a leader has more with the actions than the physicality, than your physical looks. But again, I kind of fall back on that's none of my business either. You know, like if she feels like that's going to make her feel more confident, and if she really feels like that's what's going to give her a leg up, then more power to you. Like, you know, that kind of goes back to it where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
If you think that's really if that's gonna make a difference for you in your mind, then okay, you know. But I do think that I just think back to people I've worked with that were older than me, that were absolutely trying to dress or make their physical self look a lot younger than they were, and it was very obvious. So it was like, why? I know that you're this old.
Well, that's a good point. Have you ever looked at someone and it's like, you're trying too hard? Like you can just see that it's not who they are. And that's another part too. I've talked about people saying to me, like my kids, like, Mom, don't you think you're too old to be wearing Jordans? No, I'm not. And so I think it's more about be you. And you made a point, Corlin, about, this privilege of pretty people, getting more this, that, and the other. And again, if you happen to be a hot blonde with a great, then guess what? Then that's a gift that God gave you, and then work it, girl. Like that's just fun. That's it. Am I going to go out of my way to be something and do something because I know that maybe that's going to put me in for a promotion? No, I'm not. That I'm not going to do. I'm just going to be me and just own my space of whatever that is and whatever that means. Mm-hmm. So that's all I have to say about that. But I think this has been a really good conversation. We can go on and on and on about it. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to share my journey because it's in real time right now. And I thank you both for being vulnerable and sharing some of your, over 40 secrets with all of our Lead Like a Girl listeners. I had 2 people over the weekend, by the way. I didn't share this with you guys in our chat yet, but one friend of mine shared that her and her husband listened to our podcast, and that her husband's kind of just been going through a little funk at work. And I don't remember what episode it was now because I just got so excited that.
Did he have the magic of thinking big on his mind?
Maybe it was that. And so with that being said, I want to be clear that whether you are a man or you're a woman, Lead Like a Girl is for everyone, because we need everyone to work together on this journey. So I appreciate our male listeners. Shout out to the male listeners, Lead Like a Girl.
Amen.
And share it with your male friends and give us some feedback. Let us know if you need to know about some girl topics and you say, hey, me and my male friends want you guys to talk about this. Like, we need to know what the hell is going on about this, or this. Let us know. Send us a message, go on our website, however you want to get it to us, DM us and let us know what you want to hear about. And then the other one was just today, where someone said, hey, I was really inspired and encouraged. You guys are a hoot. This is someone from our previous life that know the 3 of us. And they were just like, it just felt so good to listen to the 3 of you guys in the same room. And it took me back. So thank you. Thank you for those. Exactly. So I just thought I'd share that on here. But we want to make sure that the topics are, listen, remember, Lead Like a Girl is about empowering everyday women through our storytelling. So we want to be vulnerable, sharing those things. There's some other things that are going on with all of us that we're going to share in some upcoming episodes. But yeah, that's all I got.
Anything else from the 2 of you? Everyone, there's some stuff coming up, so you don't want to miss it.
And watch some live videos. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to share. I'm excited about the journey and being able to share mostly because we've all been through this stuff. And I used to have a pastor that I recently lost, rest in peace, Pastor Paul. And he used to always say, oh, you never experienced that before? Okay, don't even worry about it. Keep on living. Keep on living. So I think that we're all going to get there. We're all going to experience something. And I hope that we, the three of us, will share something that inspires and encourages and uplifts everyone, men, women, children, whoever. So that's all I got. Again, you can find us at leadlikeagirllab.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, share, get your Lead Like a Girl swag, and on all social media. So until next time, we're out.